Greetings, YouTube. How is everybody doing out there today? It is beautiful Tuesday, about 2:05 in the afternoon, 3/25/2025, if you can believe that, guys. It's been a while. I've been busy, guys. Show you over here. I've been building me a oil shelf to house all my oil. I just got done prepping it. Now I gotta go to Home Depot and get me some paint. I'm put my quartz down here, transmission fluids, and mixture of quartz. Then my gallon jugs up here, and then I'll probably put my antifreeze up there, or transmission fluid, one or the other. Most of the oil I use, guys, is Castrol GTX. I'll show you. I've always used Castrol GTX. Quaker State's good. All oils are good, guys. It's just whatever you like. I just like Castrol GTX. I've been using this in my Nissan, my 2000 Nissan Xterra, guys. I've been using this ever since I've owned it. And that might be why I got 250,000 miles on it, and it still fires up and runs. Air conditioning runs. It works, guys. It still works. That's why I bought another Nissan, because, you know, the Japanese know what they're doing when it comes to, you know, their four-cylinder V6 cars. That's why GM and them can't build a four-cylinder V6 car like the Japanese can. When all the big three went to front-wheel drive cars and got rid of their V8 rear-wheel drive cars, if you just kept four-cylinder rear-wheel drive cars, people would be happy, because then they can convert them down the road to V8s, whatever. They can do it themselves like they're doing today. But another story for another time. But so yeah, I used Castrol, I used the GTX, I used the Edge, and they got a couple of other ones that I use. But the reason for this video, guys, I bought this thing off a friend of mine. It's the Cub Cadet LTX 1050. I don't know what year it is, guys. I'm assuming it might be 10 years old. It's at that Kohler 725cc. It's SV 725 Kohler V-twin engine. And the problem that I had with it, guys, well, one of the problems I broke the starter on it, because I had issues with it, and I believe that's why a friend of mine, they sold it. Kept cranking and 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 cranking, and finally it'd fire up. Well, usually whenever you have problems like that, guys, it's usually something to do with the carburetor. And let me pop this hood off, and I'll show you what the problem is. So if any of y'all ever have this problem, you'll know what to do to fix it. All right, guys. So here's the problem that you have over time. What happens over time, guys, from constantly messing with the throttle, is this cable right here. See that right there? That holds the cable. Well, what happens eventually, guys, it's the slack starts coming out of it. So what you got to do, you got to put it in full throttle, unloosen that screw, and pull this part back. Basically the thing that holds the cable, to stabilize the cable. You want to put it in full throttle, loosen that screw, pull this all the way over as you can, then tighten it back down. And that should fix your problem. Because what happens over time, guys, is, you know, we use these things. I mean, as soon as you get on the thing, you're touching the throttle, constantly moving the throttle. The throttle and the pedals are probably the two most things that you use all the time. And so you're constantly throttle up, throttle down, choke up, choke down, whatever. And eventually what it does, guys, it just loosens. You know, it just wears down. And that's part of life. But the problem is, a lot of people don't know what to do to fix it. So they go ahead and they send it in to a repair guy, and repair guy knows what's going on. So he's like, yeah, I'll look at it. And then you go in there and all they do is clean it up and say, oh, you just need a good tune up. You know, that'd be whatever they charge. I don't know what they charge because, guys, I'm the type of person I can fix my own stuff. And if I can't fix it and the thing's worth it, then I might take it to them. But this here's a great lawnmower, guys. It's been a great lawnmower to me. You know, I paid $700 for the thing. And it's got triple blades. And it mulches up the grass. With triple blades, it mulches up the grass. And it's a 50-inch deck on there. Where my old Craftsman here, it's a 46-inch deck, but it's only got 2 blades. And it spits out a lot of grass because it don't really mulch it up like the Cub Cadet does. So I brought it in this winter, guys. I went ahead and I put in... one of my spark plugs was cracked, and it's like coils and plugs. You can't buy the plugs separate, so I just went ahead and bought new coils, new plugs, new air filter. I just gave it a winter tune-up, and I broke my starter, guys. I was cranking it too much, and it broke the head off the starter. Me cranking it so much. So the starter, all my parts that I got, guys, you can get you a filter kit. It came with it's a filter tune-up kit. I got it off of eBay. You can get the filter, the fuel filter. That's that right there. 2 spark plugs. The band that comes around the air filter, this band right here. You get the filter, the band that goes around the filter, basically a double filter. You get that filter. You get the plugs. And you get the fuel filter or the oil filter. And so I had to go to another place and I got the plug wires and the coils. And that was, they were like $26. The filter kit with the plugs was like less than $20, guys. And the starter was like $42, $43. So overall, I probably got about... close to $100 in just the tune-up stuff, guys. So, and another thing too, a lot of people don't know, whenever your lawnmower, see, they put a battery tender on here. Well, the person I got it from, he put a battery tender on there because he thought it was the battery that was causing a lot of the issues. Because you crank so much, guys, the battery goes down fast. So I went ahead and I replaced, there's like electric module right back here, guys. I think it was $10 off of eBay. And you can replace that too. I went ahead and replaced that. I replaced all that, guys. And still had the same problems. So I was thinking, well, it's not firing up. I could spray a little ether in there. And it fires right up. So right there told me it ain't getting fuel. So I went ahead, I adjusted that, guys, and now it fires right up. There ain't no more long cranking. Just pushing the thing. And also, I thought it was this thing too, this children release button. I thought maybe that might have had something to do with it too, but it didn't. That's all it was, guys, was a throttle cable. And so I went ahead and I just tinkered with it. I said, you know what, let me tighten that thing up and let's see if that there have anything to do with it. Because what happens, guys, what happens is over time, all this stuff, guys, it stretches. From, you know, constantly moving it, it stretches. The springs stretch. You know, they got so much stuff on here, guys, because, you know, these engines, and all it takes is one of those springs, a screw, a nut, or something to, you know, start loosening up, guys, and it gives you all kind of headaches. And the first thing somebody wants to do is, well, it's getting old, and that's what my friend did. Well, it's getting old. So I'm going to go ahead and just buy me a new one, and I'll sell this one. It still runs good. I'll sell it to somebody who knows what they're doing. That'd be me. And I'll go ahead and just work with it and straighten it all out. Another thing too, guys, you can also take some brake cleaner, spray it in there, because over time, guys, the grass from cutting it, you know, gets up in there, and it just causes all kind of havoc, guys. Grass will get up in there and cause problems. So take you some brake cleaner, spray it, or the ether, and spray it real good. Make sure it's not hot before you spray that on, because it might catch fire. So, and you can spray all that on there. Guys, one thing about their machines, you got to maintenance them. You got to keep them clean. You got to do things. It's hard for me to keep my lawnmowers clean. You see right here, because of my yard, always down at the bottom of the hill, all the water from my yard just drains down to the bottom of the hill, and all the work that I've been doing is at the bottom of the hill. So, but this thing right here, it pulls this trailer a lot better. And I want to get them knobby tires for it. I want to get some knobby tractor tires for it. It'll help give it better traction. Because these right here, guys, are good on flat land, but they're not good in the mud. Because once that mud gets down into these grooves, guys, these things turn to slicks. But one thing I do like about this lawnmower compared to this one, this is not a V-twin, this one is. It's just got a lot more torque, guys. Just a lot more torque. So I hope I made this video to help somebody. This is the LTX 1050 V-twin, the Kohler 725. To be more precise, it's the SV 725, Kohler 24 horsepower engine. You see all that. And if you got a V-twin, it might be the same thing too, guys. I don't know. I just tinker with them as they go. This old Briggs & Stratton, it ain't a V-twin. It's not a V-twin. It's just a single piston. But I tell you, this old lawnmower, you see how dirty it is up in here. This spring, I'm going to scrub it all up. But you got to be careful, guys, because electronics, you get water in electronics, it could give you problems. But the old Craftsman, guys, served me well. It's 2016 model, 2015 model. It fires right up every time. I even let it sit out all winter, and it still fire right up every time. So, well, guys, I hope I can help somebody with that today. So you don't go ahead and trash your lawnmower and be like, you know what, man, it's time to get a new one. I've only had this one 10 years, and you know, things don't last the way they used to last anymore, guys. I mean, the guy I bought this lawnmower off of, he had a 1990 model Craftsman, and it was a 19 horse. And the thing, we compared the two, guys, and the 1990 model that he had was built a whole lot better than this one. Whole lot better. It was even built better than this one here. The steel was thicker. Guys, it had more steel in it than the plastic stuff. You know, like all this, see this plastic stuff, which it's not no big deal. It's just plastic. But it had a lot, you could tell the quality was built better than what they're built today. Today, the name of the game is who can build the best looking, fastest mousetrap and get it out on the market. That's the name of the game today, guys. And, you know, what's the cheapest parts I can put in that thing? And that way I can make a ton of money when they go break down. And it seems like a lot of car builder, a lot of anybody building anything to do with any kind of engine, whether it be electric or gas, it seems like they're building their stuff to fail down the road. They're not building it to make it last anymore, except for Japanese. Now, Japanese are building their cars a lot. Germans build their cars pretty good too. Japanese build their cars a lot better too. My Nissan, the only thing I've ever done to my Nissan, besides it getting hit a couple of times and a deer ate the front end, I had a blown head gasket. And it didn't act up all the time. I'd be cruising down the road and it'd be fine for a while, for a long time. As soon as you turn that air conditioner on, then that's when it started overheating. So, because you heated up the engine. Rebuilt put a new gasket on there while you're in there, you know, replace all the stuff that you pull off, putting all new stuff in there so you don't have to go do it again. And it was about 100,000, a little over 100,000 miles then. So, well, guys, until the next time, y'all hang in there for the next video. I'll show you my shelf when I paint it and get all my oil up there. I'm trying to make it to make it look like an old Castrol GTX. I'm trying to, well, not old, but I'm trying to make it look like Castrol GTX colors. They're green and white. Green and white and red. So I'm gonna paint the face of it, and probably this edge right here green, probably paint this white. And then I'm eventually working on, I need to run me a couple more wires through here, and then I'm gonna wrap this whole thing and be done with it. So what I got to do, I got to run me a power line to the other side, so when I do my addition, the wire is already there, so all I have to do is just tie it in. But I'm finally going to be able to finish this shop, because it's never been totally finished. That part right there, guys, I've been holding off for a while, because like I said, I wanted to make sure before I close that up. And I'm just going to wrap it in that privacy fencing. I'm just going to wrap it in that and paint it all white. That way, if I ever got to pop off a panel or two, I can pop it off and get right back in there. So, because for a long time, I wanted to think about that before I covered it up. Because when you cover stuff up, guys, especially if you finish it to make it look permanent, you know, you don't want to have to go ahead and re-tear everything apart. I didn't want to have to re-tear that shelf back off. So that's why I had to think about it for a while. So now I got my shelf done. Everything's done. I'm going to have that done. Lawnmower's done. It's running. This one here is running. So, and if you got a yard like mine, guys, you got to have a backup plan. Because when one goes down, you got to have another one. And that's what the old Craftsman's for, to back up my Cub Cadet. Because I use that one there a lot more than I do this one. So, well, guys, till the next time, y'all hang in there for the next video. I hope this helps you. Bye-bye.